Hello everyone, my name is Steven Zapata. I'm a concept artist, illustrator, online art teacher, and former instructor at Art Center College of Design. I would like to introduce you to my new drawing course, Form from Imagination, a course designed to help you draw with confidence from your mind. Maybe you want to be a professional illustrator or designer, maybe you want to be a master with a pencil, or maybe you just want to be the best artist that you can be. Beautiful goals, but it's not always clear how to improve the work that you do from imagination. Over the past 6 months, I've taken all of the little eurekas, tips, and essential exercises that gave me confidence drawing from my mind and compiled them into a sequential course. We start with the absolute foundations, covering the scientific nature of light and shadow, how to hatch, how to create flat tones, how to render spheres and cubes, and step by step, we move through combined shapes, complex shapes, organic shapes. We cover how to simplify extremely complex subjects like the head into basic shapes so that you can handle them more easily from your head. We look at how to understand and treat details. And by the end of these 14 chapters with over 50 video lessons, you'll be ready to do complex designs from your mind with fidelity and energy. And all the demos are done in pencil on paper, so you can do all of the assignments even if you don't have a fancy digital art setup. But I also have demos, instructions, and modifications to the assignments for those who do want to do them digitally. Here's how it works. Go to formfromimagination.com and sign up for the course. Download the assignment book and start watching the lectures. Do the assignments at your own pace. Take your time with them and use this self-study to develop your patience. When you're done, post your assignments in the exclusive community hub, and I'll personally critique your work with drawovers, diagrams, and advice. I want you to know, this course is no joke just because it's online. It is challenging content, and it is more complete than it would be if I was teaching this class at an art college as I have before. If I was teaching this class in person at Art Center today, I would just play these videos in class, knowing full well that they're the most concise, focused, edited, step-by-step way to convey the material. So I'm serious when I say, this course isn't just a substitute for a college-level course, it's better than a college-level course. And you don't have to pay thousands of dollars per credit and wind up hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. So thank you for checking out the course, thank you for watching this and for your support, and thank you for drawing and making your artwork. The world needs it. I'll see you soon. The year is 87039, new nonlinear time. It's been 50,000 years since Steven Zapata's final art stream, but we still live in a golden age defined by the gifts his stream bestowed upon mankind. Faster than light travel, eternal life, Steven cloning, and the keys to a truly galactic human civilization. My name is Stave Satapaz, a reminder clone of Steven Zapata, an exact reproduction of his personality as constructed by an AI compiling millions of hours of his original art streams. By all accounts, I'm exactly like the original Steven's public persona, just more muscular, exactly as he would have wanted. I travel the stars on my light tracer, a dream of Steven. My crew is, of course, all clones of Steven. Some of my officers are reminders like me, but not all. Some are bioclones, and yet others are aspectoids, clones who, instead of trying to capture his full essence, amplify a particular portion of the original Steven's personality. We've spent hundreds of years drawing, exploring, and philosophizing while snaking our way through the stars, spreading the good word of design. But we've had another, secret mission as we've cruised the cosmos. I seek information on the legendary originals, Steven Zapata's true drawings that he flung wide across the stars at the end of his life on Earth, never to be seen again. My crew thinks I'm looking for them for the same reason all the other madmen do, because they would be valuable beyond all reason. But they don't know what I know, that a critical mass of originals in the hands of a trained reminder can provide a psychic link to the original Steven mind. Once I collect enough, I'll be able to fulfill my destiny and achieve psychological continuity with the original Steven. And through me, he will live again to usher in golden ages of art forever. Drawing Ascendant, the eternal chronicles of Steven Zapata. Lasting Legacy 1, Epic 1. Some people would say that Tuesday is not a drawing day. Those people are completely wrong. Those people are completely wrong. The truth is that Tuesday is a drawing day. You know, we could debate about it. We can have arguments. There can be a lot of sophisticated argumentation. Non-Tuesdarians will put forth their case that Tuesday's not a day to draw. But I'm telling you, it is. It is a day to draw. I personally, I'm a Tuesdarian. I believe, and with good reason, that Tuesday is one of the days that you draw. You know? I feel it in my bones, but I've also got the facts to back it up. That's the truth. That's the truth. How's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? Get to drawing. Draw and be ye joyful. Hello to the Barrelin channel. Green C, MF, Johnny D. Harvey, Art Apprentice, Ignas, Puikis, Maxes Real, Nathan, Cabezut, Basic Syphilis, Sabina Hanas, MF, Mosin Nakvi, Ventlox, Green C, Millie Wiggs, Viscera, characters I do not understand, apologies, Art Apprentice, Trungus, de Boer, Bopo, Arctic Monkey, Sabian Pew, Ace Pierre Chaka, Jesse Johnson, and all the rest. Thiago Vieira, Samson Beaver, hello everybody. What's up? Jake Parker says Tuesday is drawing day. Jake Parker knows. You can't trick Jake Parker, the infamous Jake Parker. If anyone knows, Jake Parker knows. He knows for sure. Hi, Jake. Nice to see you. Big fan. Big fan. What is up, people? Little iPad-sized Zapata man. I'm just a little iPad-sized man. Dai Jodan says, hey man, just started your course. I'm excited. I'm excited that you started it. Can't wait to see your assignments. What am I gonna draw today? I don't know. I just felt like doing markers. When I don't have much of a plan, you guys know, I like to draw knights. That's what I've been doing on stream for a while now. Past few streams. But I wanted to try to get some of the feel of the digital color thumbnails that I've been doing for these knights for Pandemonium, these knight-like characters for Pandemonium. I wanted to try to get a little bit of that feel with a little traditional stuff with some markers. We're gonna see what I can pull out of it. The problem is that over half of my markers are dry at this point. I have a drawer of markers that is packed to the gills, and over half of them are dry, and I'm too lazy to sift through them and throw out the dry ones. So my marker selection is getting pretty limited. I think it's time for a shopping trip soon. But we'll make do with what we got. Draw some characters. And generally be joyful, peaceful, happy, glad. And draw away. You gotta draw. You gotta do your drawing. You gotta do your drawing time. It's vital for all of us. It balances us out. Reminds us how near peace and happiness is. You gotta do it. This guy looks kind of like one of those guys from Dark Souls 3. What's that guy? Legion or something? You know. Looks like the hat with the red cloak. Makes it feel like that. They're like the boss of that swamp area. So I'm using a pretty direct pen. It's almost like a Sharpie, not quite as strong, but there's not a lot of line weight coming out of this one. It puts down a pretty brutal jet black line, and I'm just using that to keep me in like thumbnail sketch mindset instead of getting too much into detailing, because what I'm trying to figure out here is getting that flexible, quick to color design sketch feeling with the traditional tools. Abyss Watchers, yep. Farron Legion, yep. Did you move out yet, Steve? No. No. I recently have seen places that I tried to get that slipped right through my fingers, like sand. Seen them go back up on the market after having been taken by someone, and I'm like, give it to me. I wouldn't have left. Well, I don't know. Maybe that's a bad sign. Maybe those rat infestations or something like that. Finally cooled down in New York City yet? Getting there. It's it is a bit cooler at base, But it's been raining a lot, so the humidity is really high. Like the humidity has been really high. So even though it's cooler, there's still plenty of times where it feels quite hot. Like all day today in my apartment, it's been, I've had to have all the fans on. The humidity is making it very, very warm. On the phone, long, long distance. What's the coolest marker I have? All of my cool grays are out. Dead, finito, nothing to them. Maybe I could put down like a pale lavender pass. And then if I put some neutrals over that, it'll feel kind of cool. Let me zoom out my thing here. Oh, you. And I'll do it. Go fix my focus. Joseph Mazziliano, my good old friend. What's up, buddy? Let's make that cool. We're gonna throw some neutrals over those later. I just wanna not accidentally throw a warm on them like I did just now. And then, cool. You have a Discord group or something? I do in the, it's through the Patreon. If you sign up for the Patreon, access to the incredible Discord. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, come and join the incredible Steven Zapata Discord. For only $5 small, you get access to a community. They talk about art, sometimes. They post memes, often. Some would say too often. Rage about AI and have miscellaneous conversation. Yes, yes, come one, come all. No joke, the Discord is just about the nicest people you'll ever meet. They're all very mushy. You know, it kind of makes sense based on the way, you know, we're like around here, and people like me, you know, I'm very sensitive. I like to talk about feelings. So it's sort of like a self-selecting set. So everyone in the Discord is like extremely nice, and they're about like supporting each other, and they're always telling each other how much they love each other. It's like, that's nice. That's good. That's really good. I have like a condition where like all my emotions don't match my facial features. So I gotta have a darker neutral. I need to organize my markers better, but I don't want to have a giant wallet of markers. This toner 6 should do it. Oh, this used to be one of Ahmed's markers. There's no way this still has ink in it, does it? It does, incredible. I know this is one of Med's. I'm pretty sure. Med used to put these star stickers on his markers back in school so that he knew what side was the chisel tip. That's funny. Just joined the Patreon. The link to the Discord seems to have expired. Would you mind posting another one when you have time? Send me a DM. For some people, the automatic link just doesn't work. But if you send me a DM on the Patreon, I'll send you a link behind the scenes and get you right in. Again, to be clear, send me a message on Patreon. Don't send it to like my Instagram or something like that. I'll never see it. Is that my boy the Abyss Walker? It wasn't meant to be, but it turned out looking like that. That cone head silhouette. Very iconic. Iconic. I don't need to foam that. Shove that here. Steven, don't Copics have fugitive light fastness? I think most markers do, but I'm just using it for sketches, so it don't matter. It's not like anybody's gonna put my my night sketches in a museum. There's never gonna be some tour guide being like, and here we have one of the collection's most popular entries. Night Sketches sheet number 8,537,000 by infamous artist Steven Zapata. Here you can see his culturally relevant and very zeitgeisty sketches of vaguely video game inspired enemies and mobs. Steven was marked for his lack of ambition and disinterest in designing anything like a boss character, for example. He really played best in the areas of something that you would just slay with a single strike, if you were perhaps a strength dex build or something like that, which back then was called a quality build, but that is a artifact of a long gone time. Okay, if you follow me over here, we'll enter the AI section. Steven, could you do some demonstrations with gouache? I think I did a couple recently on stream. Wait, did I? No, I don't think so, actually, now that I think about it. I I will. I'm sure I'll get around to it. It's just, it's like I couldn't do it right now. It takes a while to set up. I have to like go make a wet palette in a Tupperware. I got to squeeze out the paint, go pull out my brushes, things like that. Somewhere in the stream archives, there is some stream where I do gouache. I'm pretty sure. But I'm not really the best guy with gouache. Check out my friend Tommy Kim on Instagram. He's a gouache pro, dude. Steven, what do you do when you get tired of drawing? I thought it was impossible, but it's real. Art makes me sleepy and bored. You need a break. Don't feel bad about it. Absence makes the heart grow fonder. Go potentiate the subconscious with new information. Art is a very long haul endeavor, and you need to build and maintain energy for it over very long periods of time. If you take a week off to read books, play games, hang out with human beings, be a good friend, stuff like that, you will come back to drawing feeling much better. There's nothing wrong with that. I must have another color that's close enough to this one, because this marker is dead. Dead. That noise, I don't like art noises sometimes. Yeah, a lot of people don't like that scratchy. A lot of people really don't like the sound of the blending stump, which I'm surprised by. It's so like a non-sound to me. Sorry. Squeaky. I think I need to work smaller if I want to do sketches like this, because all of my markers are so dry. I think I need to just commit to buying a new load. They're just so expensive, markers. I'm getting a really streaky feel to everything that I put down because they're so dried out. You can get around that by going extra slow, but I'm trying to do quick idea sketches here, so that kind of defeats the point. It's like good markers. You try to leave the store with 15, which is really not that wide a selection if you're trying to do a wide variety of stuff. You leave the store with 15, you end up dropping like $200 or something like that. Anorexic says, hey Steven, how are you? I'm currently spending days studying Renaissance Masters and kind of learning a lot. Oh yeah, there's a lot there. There is a ton there. I've spent a lot of time looking at those guys. There is good stuff there. And I'm good. I am all good. Thank you so much for asking. I used to go to the drawing room at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, which is it's a room that the Met has where if you schedule ahead of time, they will, it's just a little room. It's like only 4 people in there fit at once, and a lot of the times you're empty in there. It's empty in there, it's just you. But if you schedule an appointment ahead of time, they will put any drawing in front of you that you ask for from their collection. So there was this one summer, I've been many times, but there was this one summer where that was just all I did every day. I would make 2 appointments in a row every day, and I would pick my drawings online the day before, and I would come with the acquisition numbers, and I would just copy. Canova, Eng, Michelangelo, Pontormo, Tintorettos, Tiepolo's, they had it all. Pierre-Paul Prud'hon, one of the best to copy. It was a good time. Where's my pencil? Ah, yes, my pencil. New sheet. What are your thoughts on drugs and art? They're part of some people's process. Like when I think about Alex Gray, if what he says about his process is to be believed, it's just an essential part of some people's process. It's not for me personally. I have never been able to make art under any kind of an influence. I just like get completely distracted. Like, I think maybe for some people it's like drugs help make you want to make art. I have the opposite situation where when I'm normal mediocre consciousness, I want to make art in that state, and then if I'm on drugs, art is the last thing I'm interested in. Don't really want to make art. I don't know why. Now my fan's annoying me. Give me a second. Caffeine is a drug? Oh, yes, it is. But when somebody asks me, what are your thoughts on art and drugs? I don't think that's one of the drugs they're talking about. Caffeine is best drug. #1 drug, most powerful drug. Hello, Renola. Hey, Stephen, have you always been drawing with markers or started from something else? I do all sorts of stuff. I've drawn with markers for a long time. I had to use them a lot back in school. So I have some built-up familiarity with them. They've never been my main medium, though. Don't you dare. Don't you. No, what are you doing? Don't walk slower, like that's gonna keep me from no. Oh yeah, God damn it. She just like, she was running off to bark at the other dog outside, and she just slows down to continue to break the rules. She doesn't stop. She's just like, she's like, he's on stream. He's not gonna get up and stop me. She can read me like a book. Do you use cardstock for alcohol markers? No, I use, this is marker paper. Which one is this? This is the Bienfang Graphics 360 marker paper. I also use the, what is it? The Canson marker paper. They're both good. All right, let's see if we work a little bit over pencil to help us with the, actually, let me do a little bit more work because these are very dry. So let's put a little bit of hatch work down to help it along. Do you draw with both hands? No. Do you rarely ink drawings? Yeah, I mean, in like the comic sense, like in the classic pipeline where someone who's doing a graphic novel or something does a drawing and then inks it for the final. Yeah, I don't really do that. I'm not a comic book artist. I don't really have much exposure to that side of things. So when I use ink, I'm really just using it for its own sake. You know, I often use it without any drawing underneath. I just kind of sketch with it. I don't do, I very rarely ever do like a tight ink of a drawing. And I basically never like do a solid drawing and then ink it. Like if I do go over pencil with ink, I go over like a very, a simple sketch. Just like, I'm not really, because I don't really have any exposure to that pipeline where you hand off your drawings to other people. There's really no reason for me to like do it in a perfect progression like that. F-Time says, I'm drawing whatever I want and having a grand time. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Have you ever felt burnt out? Of course. Of course. You just need to give yourself more time to rest, I think, if you're feeling burnt out. If you're feeling burnt out, ask yourself, is your schedule based on you, or is your schedule based on your fears about who you're supposed to be, or how much time you're supposed to be spending drawing, or what other people said, the amount of time other people said you were supposed to be drawing? You need to base your schedule and how much you work and how you manage your creativity on you, not on stuff that other people have put in your head. They don't know you. They don't know your life. They don't know what else you have going on. Mental health situations, physical health situations, what your day job is like, what school is like for you. It's like, art is not a one-size-fits-all thing. Never, ever, ever, ever. So if you're feeling burnt out, I would start there. Ask yourself, who picked this schedule? Who says I have to do it this much in this way? And reframe, restructure, restart, rekindle, reignite. Sorry, I think my camera was a little overexposed there. Apologies. Steven, have you ever worked in the film industry? Yeah. Yeah. If you want to see something I did that's very off-brand for me, I worked on the end credits for the Disney movie with Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick. Not Anna Kendrick. God, what's her name? Wait, is it? It is, yeah. The Bill Hader, Anna Kendrick movie, Noelle. I did the end credits on that. Ooh, that's much more yellow than I thought it would be. What's going to be, you can never tell with markers. What's going to be what? Wish I had a softer yellow. Only problem with markers, it's like you've either got the color or you don't. That's real annoying with markers. I might switch to watercolor and go to another sketchbook. In watercolor, you can always kind of get to what you were thinking. Did they pay you? Yeah. This show ain't free. I ain't doing no work for Disney for free. This ain't my first rodeo. I'm just completely beating up this drawing by testing bad colors on it. Have you ever read The Meta Barons? I have not, but it's on the list. It's something I've always been interested in reading. Steven, I like to draw more than I like to hang out with people, but sometimes I get lonely. Is this normal? Yes. Deeply normal. Some would say it might be one of the defining aspects of human existence, loneliness. You're gonna need people. I would look at that situation. Look at it closely. You know, there's a contradiction in there, you know, feeling lonely, but you want to spend your time drawing instead. It's an understandable contradiction. A lot of artists like to be alone but not lonely, you know, they like having other people in the room but being completely able to like focus on what they're doing. I personally like that, you know. But you're only going to have a few people like that in your life. You know, they're often other creatives or people who understand creatives. Maybe they went through a creative period in their life, something like that. But those people are not, they're not easy to find. It's going to be few and far in between. And you've got to, you are going to need to address your loneliness somehow, or else it'll make you crazy. It will make you crazy. But I totally understand. We artists, we put ourselves in a bind, you know? We feel guilty if we're not doing our drawing. It gets in the way of going out or reaching out to friends. Because we get in our heads like, I'm supposed to be working hard right now. I'm supposed to be gritty. I'm trying to do a really hard thing. Why am I going to be on the phone right now? Or hanging out at a coffee shop with my bud? And it's like, you can't do that to yourself. That's all lack of compassion. Lack of realism. Unrealistic expectations. Thinking you're some sort of super person who doesn't need other people. You need other people. That's not going to pan out. Hey, James. What up? James, I forgot to answer your text last night. I was languishing on my couch. I'll hit you up later. Oh, is it kept to this? Lucas says, your video on AI is very special, valuable, and important. Thank you for making it, although I've been crying a little thinking about it, but it has made me closer to the creative process and myself. Don't cry. It's all right. Don't worry. We're going to get through this. We are going to get through it together. No need to cry. No need to cry. I'm glad you liked it. There's no need to cry, but if you need to cry, go ahead and cry. Sometimes we just need a good cry. They're very cathartic. Good cry is so relieving, you know? Just letting tears stream down your face. It feels very good. Nothing wrong with crying. But we will get through it. Stay strong. Jake Parker says, something I've been thinking about when I talk to students. How do you decide if art should just be a hobby or if you should pursue it as a profession? It's a tough one. I'm sure you've kind of already experienced it, Jake, but it's like, I think it comes down person to person, right? I mean, I've never told a student that if they wanted to go for it that they shouldn't. I've never gone there, but I do try to be completely realistic with students about how very difficult it is, how extremely difficult, and I always try to give them realistic expectations about the grit they'll need, the adaptability that they will need, some of the skills that they're going to maybe wish aren't necessary but totally are, like networking and being willing to market yourself and things like that. I always try to level with them, like, you're gonna have a very rough go of it if you're not going to entertain those at all. But at a certain point, you just gotta like set the stage for them and trust that a student's gonna be able to go for it with their all, right? I would, in my experience with a bunch of students, if I set the stage carefully, if I give them a realistic projection of the future and I'm honest about the difficulties and the things they'll need to face, I've had many students be able to make up their own mind. They come to the conclusion themselves, and not in a bummed out way. They're like, they arrive at it on their own. They're like, I think I'll be happiest if it's not a job for me. I've had a lot of students go both ways, you know. It's a hard thing because it's so individual. There's nothing one size fits all in art. Gotta get rid of it. Gotta get rid of 69 girls that XYZ. I clicked it. Try not to click it. Well, I mean, yeah, unless you're into it. I mean, that's why it's there. If you're into it, that's different. James, I'm gonna make you a mod in case in case it ever becomes relevant. That way, instead of writing "so are the dating bots," you can just block a dating bot every now and then. Don't worry, you don't have actual mod duties. You don't need to worry about jerks or anything like that. Just so that you have robot removal powers. Edwin Caballero says, "Good afternoon, Stephen. I hope you are having a good day. One question though, are you actually drawing what you want, or are you drawing what the drawing wants?" I would say they are the same thing. We are one. We are one. The trick is to just remember that we are one when I do not feel identical to the drawing. But the drawing is coming from the vaster space. The foundations way down deep below. The bubbling subconscious soup of things learned, once known, and long forgotten. I don't feel identical to those things if I let them run, not all the time, but I do believe they are still me. Is this an eldritch opera singer? Yes, God, yes. Yes, yes, 1,000 times, yes. What would be the best thing to come out of the town hall meeting? I don't know. I'm not sure it's a situation where we need to hope for the best. I think we need to hope to learn. I'm very interested. There's going to be officials from the copyright office there, so I think the odds of learning some very important stuff are high. He looks like he can bench press the entire stage. He ain't no slouch. He ain't no slouch. Hello, Stephen. When is that philosophical talk on the future of humanity in the age of AIs with Craig Mullins going to happen? I don't know. Craig, if you're out there, come on the show. I'm willing. Craig, if you're out there in the world, If you ever get frustrated that other artists don't want to talk about the hard problem of consciousness, or they don't want to debate Daniel Dennett's view on compatibilism when it comes to free will with you, come on, baby. Let's talk free will. Let's talk compatibilism. I'll do it in Hawaii time, Craig. Let's have a conversation that's for 5 people. There's only 5 people interested in that conversation. Bye, Jake. Thanks for being here. Drop by anytime. And good luck with your work today. Gino Mariglia says, big fan. Thanks for all you do. While thinking of something to ask, for some reason this popped in my head. Have you seen the movie Maudie? I have not. I don't think I've heard of it either. What's it about? No go on any of this stuff. I'm getting my other sketchbook. We're switching to watercolor. Steven, between the course and the Butlerian Jihad, is there any progress being made on the design course? There will be soon. I would not say that I have started yet, even though I did do a bunch of the groundwork on it a year ago. I haven't restarted on it yet, but the time is coming. The time is coming. It'll be next year. It's not like this year or anything. I will start on it, restart on it at some point next year. When the finish line on that would be questionable, but it's a priority to restart on it. At first I was afraid, I was petrified. Kept thinking I could never live without you by my side. Thinking how you did me wrong, and I grew strong. And I learned how to get along, and so you're back from outer space. I came in and found you here with that sad look upon your face. I should have changed my stupid lock. I should have made you leave your keys. Dustifer B with $5. $5 incredible dollars. Just want to say, Steven, your art class package and comments have been extremely helpful in making me improve as a budding professional. So thank you. Dustifer B, thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for the $5, and thank you so much for enjoying the videos and classes. We really appreciate you here, and I can't wait to turn your $5 into life-giving, precious caffeine. I will bring your 5 glistening dollars. It'll be weird. I'll go to the bank. I'm gonna go to the bank teller like I always do, and I'm gonna say, Mr. Bank Teller, could I have the $5 that Dustifer B donated to me? The bank teller will slide me a crisp but strangely oily $5 that has your name on it. And I'll be like, thank you. And then I'm gonna go to my coffee shop. I'm gonna turn that oily, slick, opalescent, crisp $5 bill to a delicious cup of liquid caffeine. And I'm gonna just align my mouth and my larynx like a puffin, and I'm gonna let the whole thing slide down in one gulp. And when it hits my stomach acid, it's gonna produce a plume of gas that's going to shoot back out my mouth, and it's gonna go, Dustifer B. And then my good friend, the barista, is gonna go, another YouTube donation. I'm gonna be like, yeah. And he's gonna go, you know you can't come back here, right? And I'll be like, I know. I know. Is there water in this? Yes, there is. Can you beatbox? No, I could not. Aqua One Boss says, could you dance for us now? I wish I had a way to, I need 2 cameras, and I need a camera that's more pulled back so that I can stand up in front of the green screen and dance for you guys. But right now you can't. I mean, I can shoulder dance. I could be like, I could get one of these, and I could be like, and then like, ooh, and then like, ah. You know, I can hit it with that, but you can't see what the full body's doing. You can't see what the full body's doing. That's why I mostly sing. I thought, like, you know, Halloween's coming up. I should draw some scary stuff. You know, I usually just draw cute girls, but it's like, I was like, all right, it's the one scary time of year. I should do something a little different and draw some creepy, scary stuff instead of all the cute girls. Maudie, a movie about a Canadian artist named Maud Lewis, currently on Netflix. Simple, quiet, beautiful, worth a watch. I will investigate. Oh, I will investigate. What watercolors are those? These are the Derwent Inktense watercolors. Some people would say they're technically liquid ink, but if it looks like watercolor, and it sounds like watercolor, and it smells like watercolor, and it tries to seduce my wife like watercolor, then it must be watercolor. Fish flops with the SGD 10.0. I don't know what SGD is. The currency kings of the stream. What is SGD? Where's that from? Got to catch my first Steven Zapata stream and I'm already hooked. I'm so glad that you like it, fish flops. Welcome to the stream. You're very welcome here with your fishy flops. Wait, do you wear fish flops or you are the fish flops? Are you someone who wears novelty flip-flops or are you a sentient pair of novelty flip-flops? And you were born into a horrifying life of being worn as footwear by people for your whole life. It's from Singapore. Greetings from New York. Greetings from New York. Thank you so much for the 10 Singaporean somethings. I greatly appreciate it. I'll need to investigate what I can turn it into, but whatever I can turn it into, I'm gonna do it. And I'll think about you while I do it. Fish flops. It's $7. Whoa. That's a big coffee. That's a lot of caffeine. Now that's a lot of caffeine. It's a lot of caffeine. That's a lot of coffee shops to get kicked out of. They're going to have my picture up in black and white behind the register. It's going to say in bold text, Do not let this man buy coffee. But who knows? Maybe once they see that I'm trying to buy it with fish flops money, they'll be like, oh, fish flops money is always good here, sir. Sir, it's Steven Zapata. He's entered the store. Wait. He has fish flops money. Should I let him buy? Okay. Hello, Steven. Welcome. Yeah. Don't worry about it. Fish flops' money is always welcome here. I would love to be footwear, says Fish Flops. Well, you know what, Fish Flops? We've all got our dreams. And I hope yours comes true. I hope you get to become footwear at some point. You know, the future is exciting. There's a lot of possibilities on the horizon. A lot of VR experiences. Maybe someday someone will invent some sort of experiential chemical cocktail that will let you know exactly what it's like to be footwear. I want that for you. If that's what you want, I want that for you. Have you ever wanted to be footwear? Come down to Stevie Zaps's Chemical Experiential Compound Emporium. We've got everything you could want. We've got experience being footwear. We've got experience being a lizard sitting on a rock on a warm day. We've got experience everything went different and that you somehow turned out to be a pilot who saw a UFO and got hardcore photographic evidence, got interviewed on Joe Rogan and cracked the whole case wide open for everybody. So come on down. We've got half off of all fetishes, all... I can't. I'm done with that. I broke it at fetishes. I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have said that. Fish Flops is just built different. Fish Flops is just built different. The bit's gone too far. Ardrick says, can you draw with blood without dying? Yeah, just take your time. A lot of artists who like to paint with blood, they get into trouble because they just follow the same norms as everybody else. You know, in our current online art era, we get this put into everybody's head. It's like you're supposed to draw 8 hours a day. You're supposed to go as often as possible. You know, you got to be grinding it out and all that. And the problem with hustle culture is that it makes this one-size-fits-all package for all artists. And it's like they forget the artists who paint with their own blood. It's like if you paint with your own blood, you've got to give yourself time to rebuild your hemoglobin and your plasma. So maybe just 10 minutes a day for the artist to paint with blood, you know? You don't gotta get caught up in what everybody else is spoon feeding you. You understand? You gotta base your schedule on you and the rate of your blood production. So just take your time, take your time. I'm gonna go to the art store soon, maybe today. Maybe later today I'll go. I'm gonna buy new crop of markers. So we can have a nice marker stream with fresh markers. Or God help me, I'll sit there for an hour and go through my drawer and I'll throw out all the dry ones. So that I'm left with only the juicy ones. Let me zoom this in. Is this a vampire or hairless werewolf? I think I like hairless werewolf better. Is there a way to revive those dry markers? You can buy refills, depending on the brand of marker you use. Like you can buy refills for Copics, where it's like just the ink in a bottle, and you can use it to refill a marker of that color, like maybe like 10 times, something like that. Maybe less than that, maybe somewhere between 6 and 10, I would say, depending on how much you refill. But I got lazy to keep ordering those like I used to, because you can really only find them online. Almost no stores carry them. I used to use them a lot because I used to have an art store. Back when I lived in Pasadena, and I had Swain's, my favorite art store ever. Swain's used to have the Copic markers and their refills, so it was easy to buy a refill of every new color that you bought as well. But without Swain's in my life, it's just never get around to ordering them online. like it's always easier to just run to the store and buy a replacement hole marker. But if you do a lot of marker work, you should totally use refills. Trying to think what colors I want to use here. Do I want a warmer, cooler? You know, I always do cool. So let's do them a little straight down the barrel. Damn, shouldn't have done that. Putting down a light base that will seal the pencil work. This doesn't really work with normal watercolors, but with these, you can do that. Because if you leave these to dry long enough, they won't pick up on a second pass with color, with the water. Whoops, too much water came out there. I'm just too lazy to go get a bigger brush, or else I would be doing this flat with a bigger brush, but I'm a very lazy boy. Very, very lazy boy. All right, let's let that dry for a second. Maybe you should teach your pup to fetch your supplies for the cookies that she loves. Oh my God. How awesome would that be? How awesome would that be? The stream would just be about that forever. No one would ever be interested again in the quality of my work. They'd just be like, this guy's dog gets his art supplies. And you know what? They'd be right to focus on that. She would have to learn so many commands. Hey Steven, I decided to make studies of an artist, but I heard you shouldn't straight up copy what the artist did. Rather, you should make your own version of it. Is it really a study if I do what I like? It's perfectly fine to do a complete master copy. There's nothing wrong with that. You'll get the occasional living artist who is not okay with it. They don't like seeing master copies. But if you say, you know, this is a master copy, this is it's based on the original, and you link the original, those people are in the minority. Most people take it as an honor, and most people are flattered that someone would do that. It's a problem if it comes off like you're trying to pass it off as your own or something like that. But I think amongst artists, if you give it an earnest shot to learn from something and you explain that that's what it is, and you say, you call it like master copy of, you know, the name of the piece and their name. I know very few artists who are offended by that. Very, very few. I only bring it up as that there are some just because I've seen it online, but it's like, they're rare, you know? Hey, Steven, would you recommend James Gurney's Color and Light for Visual Artists to a Beginner? Yeah, it's a good book. It's very good introductory information to optics. There's some painting instruction in there, but it's really mostly an introduction to optics, and for that, it is great. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but it is for me. Like, I always really liked it. And I'm into that stuff. I like learning about how art is, how painting choices are influenced by understandings of the science of light, and how the science of light and atmosphere and visual perception actually inform color and painting choices that we make. I find that stuff fascinating. But like I said, it's not for everybody. And you can get to good results without trying to pretend that you are like a 3D modeling program where everything's accurate. Like, you can get great results with just by doing completely subjective, sort of impulsive color. But if you need a framework, I think that's one of the best ones. Michael Schlater says, who else is painting? I just finished my Halloween drawing. I'm painting, actually. I'm also painting. Nick Ravioli says, on that matter, how would one go to learn art from books? Is it reading, practice, or reading the entire thing, then practice? That concept eludes me. You know, I'll be honest, most books are not great, unfortunately. I think that the best ones are the ones that teach a concept that you can then kind of walk away with. Like something like framed ink, for example. Like framed ink doesn't really ask you to do any particular exercises. It really focuses on just like taking you through an understanding of a concept, and once you're done with it, you're kind of, it's like it's in your head now. I think those are the best, but they're few and far in between. I mean, practice is always going to be paramount, no matter what. For things like Loomis or Bridgman and stuff like that, I honestly would just recommend, and this is what I did, just do every drawing cover to cover. Just do the drawings. Just copy the drawings. The really important concepts, they'll be there in diagrams and stuff like that. You'll wind up copying the diagrams, but as far as I'm concerned, it's like you just kind of, you date the book and you draw it through. A few books that I've copied every drawing cover to cover is like Loomis's books, like Figure Drawing for All It's Worth, stuff like that, the classics. Bridgman's drawing, the big orange one, the complete Bridgman's Life drawing. The Vanderpool book, John Vanderpool's The Human Figure, I've copied that one multiple times. There's not a lot of drawings in that one, so that's not like a big deal. It's that's an old book, so there was only so much they could shove in the plates, but I've drawn those. I've copied that one cover to cover a couple times to try to get that. For me, his big thing is good value grouping for parts of the body, really good value grouping. He's like a more graceful version of Bridgman and the concepts that Bridgman is teaching. That little John Vanderpool's The Human Figure is a great book. I have read parts of that one, but it's just like, I don't think our brains are cut out for that stuff anymore. We're so spoiled on videos and things like that, that reading something like the Vanderpool book is a little difficult. Especially because like the diagrams aren't right next to what he's saying. So you're just like reading and then flipping to the plates and being like, is he talking about fucking that one or that one? You know? Paper's getting a little too wet. Gotta let it dry for a bit. I say, and then I continue painting. No, I gotta let it dry. Just let it dry for a second. I'm getting impatient. No Fear Zero says, sup everyone. Yo, what's up? What's up? Hey Steven, are you a fan of Phil Hale? Yeah. I haven't like kept up with everything he's doing, but I've seen tons of his paintings throughout the years. In my many long years exploring the world of art. Ah, Phil Hale. Ah, yes, I've seen many of Phil Hale, yes. Remember seeing Phil Hale stuff for the first time when I was like probably 17 or something like that. It's been on my mind for a long time. Dill says, what would be your advice for those who cannot afford your form from imagination because of the exchange rate in their country? For example, in Turkey, your course is nearly 4 times of the average wage. I don't know. I don't know what advice to give. It's not cheap in America either. It's just because I need to do feedback on everything. I do feedback for everyone who takes it. So I wouldn't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I don't really have I don't have any advice really. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Maybe at some point in the future I could offer a no feedback version that is cheaper. I'm a little slow to do that because I really like feedback. Like people who have taken my workshops and stuff like that know feedback is very important to me. So I'm a little slow to do that, but maybe, watch out for that someday. Maybe that would be when to do it. An alternative. Okay, an alternative for form for imagination. Well, I made that curriculum because I don't think there's a great alternative. You could try to synthesize it by doing some combo of learning about optics, so maybe something like James Gurney's Color and Light, then Scott Robertson's How to Draw, Framed Ink by Marcos Mateo Mestre, maybe his Framed Perspective book as well, a little bit. And then for some of the later stuff, I don't know quite what to recommend. I don't know any books that are good analogs for the later stuff, unfortunately. But though that baseline, you could kind of use that to sort of like stick together a bunch of the info. You're going to need to fill in a lot of gaps on your own. Get creative. Have you ever done MBTI personality tests? No. I'm not into personality tests. It's like, I am a human being. I am vast. Don't feel the need to put myself in a box or two for the rest of my life. When I do something out of character, be like, analytically, that's a strange thing to do considering my personality type. Is like, I just don't believe in that stuff. Your form demos on Proco? Well, yeah, but it's just not of the same depth, right? There's some base principles in there, but I don't think as an alternative to form from imagination, I could not recommend my smaller scale stuff. That's why the alternative that I just described is some pretty involved books, And form from imagination has a lot in it. Dang, still wet. And the paper is not drying out. I always wish this Moleskine paper was watercolor paper. And then I do things like this and I remember that it is not. It is definitely not. You are such a fun person to draw along with. Aw, that's very kind. Thank you, Fish Flops. Happy to have you here. Very happy to have you here. We like to draw. And you're not just drawing along with me, you're drawing along with so many people in the chat. So many people on stream. Most people here, I would wager. I bet most people here are drawing right now. Sarah says, just had a job interview. Probably the worst type of human interaction on planet Earth. Yeah, that's a tough one. It's a tough one. Ready to unwind with drawing in a Steven Zapata live stream. Welcome, Sarah. Get to drawing. It's time to combine with the creative mind, to draw your way to peace and happiness. Enjoy your drawing time. Your artwork looks nice. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That is very kind. I'm glad you like it. You know, we try our best around here. That's the truth. Do we always nail it? No. Can we expect to always nail it? I don't think so. But you know, we do our best. We have fun. We get a little bit better. You know, some of you youngins, you get better a little faster than me. A little faster than old Steven. You guys, you get 5 points to your character level every drawing you do. Me? You know, I'm out here on New Game Plus Plus. I gotta take out like 40 bosses to be halfway to a new level. Takes me a little longer now to level up. You enjoy it while you got it. But we still, in spite of that, we're still getting a little better every time. And that's all right. Magnus says, today I got my first rejection letter from an art job I applied for. Yay! You're gonna be all right. You just keep applying. You'll get more rejection letters, probably, before it's all said and done, but it only takes one. It only takes one to go through. You will be there. Make sure to not die before the next level up. I will. I'll survive. I will survive. Oh, oh, burner. Bum 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 bum. Oh. If I was doing this on real watercolor paper, which I really should have, I wouldn't have to wait this long between passes. I could hit it with the blow dryer real quick and then be ready to go for another pass. Alas, this paper will not survive the blow dryer. Steven, have you heard of Carlos Swante? Do you enjoy his works? Oh yeah, he was a big inspiration for me. Still is. I encountered his work many moons ago, back at the Art Center College of Design library, back when I was like 19 years old. So, well over a decade ago now was the first time I was exposed to his work. He had an art book out, published by Design Studio Press, that they had at the library. That was the first time I ever saw it, and I looked at a bunch of his stuff. He also had a Gnomon DVD out at the time, all those years ago, and I watched all of those at some point. The library had them all, so I made it a point to systematically check out each and every single one and watch them all while I did my homework and stuff like that. So I did watch his. I don't quite, you know, it was all so long ago, I don't quite remember it. But I remember, I mean, obviously I was very impressed, but he didn't, back then, he wasn't quite so influential on me. I thought it was great work and I was into it, but I came to like his work much, much more in later years. It would be a couple years after that before I got deeply into like a new phase of anatomical study in my life. Steven, do you ever use wax with your watercolor to mask areas? No, I'm not like a good technician with watercolor. I just use it to sketch in a relaxed way. Have I ever even tried masking fluid? I don't think so. I don't think that's something I've ever gotten around to. Stream, you there, stream? We're here. Come in, audio Gus. You'd be back to bother me, oh no, now go. Walk out the door. Don't turn around now. You're not welcome anymore. Is this a drawing of your dog? Oh yeah. Oh yes. Oh definitely. Do you have any idea how happy I would be to walk this dog? Holy crap. Totally. I'd be on the news every night. They'd be like, the madman who owns the only proven monster that society has ever seen insists on not letting scientists study it, but instead walking it on a leash every day and constantly feeding it cookies and cuddling with it in bed and saying, who's a good girl? Who's a good little girl? President Biden plans to visit with the man and ask him what the fuck is wrong with him. Thank you, Lameworks. I'm behind on chat here. Let me see what's up. Where's my mouse? Oh. Let me see here. What do you think about people starting art at their 30s? That's great. I mean, anytime you're starting art, it's a miracle. It's beautiful. I mean, that means that you've got a life where you have the opportunity to sit around and be creative. And it means that you've got a drive that is not to be taken lightly. Not everybody wants to be creative. And if you have the feeling that you want to do it, you probably need to honor it. A lot of people, if they don't honor it, they will go nuts. So I think it's a wonderful thing. You should keep it up. You should pursue it wholeheartedly. Doesn't matter at the time, what time. Does not matter what time you start at. Dunzul says, just watch your AI video and was pleasantly surprised to see you are live right now. Absolutely amazing piece. I only hope at least clips of it reach the mainstream. Thank you so much, Dunzul. Well, you know, tell your friends. It doesn't need to go mainstream. It can be just between us artists. But I appreciate that people, you know, a lot of people have been resharing it, reposting it, things like that. And I really appreciate that because the reach is, you know, because it's going out there, I'm getting in contact with a lot of people and getting messages from a lot of people, yada, yada, yada. It's very useful. And that's all I'll say for now. But the reach is very, it does stuff. It does stuff. So I appreciate it. Jigglemeister. Jigglemeister. Is it worth getting a drafting table, drawing on a slanted surface? I draw on a flat surface, but it's not for everybody. I mean, I do it because I don't have the... if I had more space, I'd have a separate drafting table, but I've been drawing flat for years because I need everything on one huge table. So it is doable. It's not a big deal. I think I prefer it, really. I'm so used to it. I was at Life Drawing the other day, and an 86-year-old woman was there improving, so it's never too late or too early. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. What manner of brush pen thingy is this? These are very common. You can find these at most art stores. It's just a watercolor brush that has a reservoir for water in the back. All sorts of brands make them. If you ask your art store person, they'll take you right to it. Audio Gus says, people are certainly referencing your AI video a lot. Showed up at work. Cool. Yeah. I've been, yeah, I've been, you know, hearing stuff in the background. So, yeah. Wouldn't slanted be better for overhand grip? Yeah, I mean, you can do overhand flat. I do it. But yeah, it's technically better for that. Really, like, beyond slanted, it's like upright is best for overhand. But you can make anything work in any situation. You don't need anything fancy. I mean, my table is a $60 drafting table. Not a drafting table. A $60 banquet table. Like a catering table. From just an office supply store. That's what I've been using for years. You don't need any fancy stuff. The great thing about art is that you could do it with very basic things. The comment section in that AI video is interesting. Yeah, well, you know, it's a shame that the internet is that way, but it's not surprising if you've been around the internet for long enough. I'm not surprised. I'm just kind of letting it do its thing because, you know, there's not that many places these days to have like a public exchange of ideas about it. So once I saw it go that way, I was just like, you know, just going to let that tangle of weeds grow itself. Just not going to mess with that. I gotta get myself out of the way because, hey, I'm working here. Wow, I'm in the middle of the screen. Well. You thought you knew everything about me, huh? You thought, oh, I've been on a few Steven streams. I know what he does. You're completely wrong. I'm always full of surprises. That's right. I'm on the middle of the screen now. You didn't think this would ever happen. You got comfy. You got lazy. You started taking things for granted. You said, I know where Steven is. I know where he lives. I know where his soul is trapped. He's a genie that lives in the bottom right-hand corner of this screen. Wrong. I could freak you out even more. I could be up here. Does this make any sense? This makes no sense. You got to stop thinking that you can predict what I'm going to do. All right? I'd appreciate that. I'm complicated. Jesus. Don't you bark. No one's interested in that. You're a dog, not a person. You're allowed to be silenced. You don't get to just woof woof all day. Please stop it. You are ruining my immersion. Even immersion isn't a given here. This is a place where you must expect the unexpected. Your dog is gonna write a mean comment under your video now? Dude, she's an advantageous one. I mean, she's an opportunist. She's already been giving me a lot of crap for the AI video. That basically started immediately. It gets ugly in this household sometimes. I know I'm doing off-camera work. I'll be done shortly. Just give me a second. Just give me a second. You're not missing anything interesting, I promise you that. No fancy footwork, no secret moves. Did your wife just start laughing in the background? No, she's not here. You think I'd crumble? You think I'd lay down and down? No matter, I will survive. I love doing watercolor sketches like this because it forces you to slow down. It's like you can't go fast because the water beads up. I like that. I like tools that make me go slow. I enjoy that a lot. Any tips for gaining an intuition for cast shadows? You get the course. You get the course. But if you don't get the course, but you get the course, but if you didn't get the course, but you get the course, of course. But if you don't get the course, you got to practice abstracting them. Just like, are they cool on their own? Are the shadow shapes cool on their own? Start there. The rest will follow. He did draw with Copic. Yeah. Draw with Copic, draw with Copic. I did. Go back and see the recording. I did some Copic drawing. But they're all dry. I was too lazy to pick out the ones that are actually wet. Next time I do a Copic stream, I will be sure to I will beforehand sift through my markers. And I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna throw out the dry ones finally, because they really gum up the process. Theodora Kapat, how are you? Good to see you. We will survive. We really will survive. We really will survive. It's good to see you. Saman Kucher says, Steven, have you ever drawn any comic book characters? I think you would draw an awesome version of Batman if you put your mind into it. Yeah, I have. You know, not really recently, but I've done the occasional superhero back in the day. If you go way back on my Instagram, you'll find some stuff. You will find some stuff. All right, I'm definitely reaching the limits of my Moleskine paper here. It is beating up uncontrollably every time I apply. If I want to do more, I'll need to let it dry completely. So maybe we move on to another sketch. We can return to this later on another stream or something like that. This is not real watercolor paper, so it does have a limit of what it will take. Will the town hall meeting be only on Zoom, or will it also be streamed? It's on Zoom live, and it'll be up on the Concept Art Association's YouTube afterwards. They're going to record it as they do it, and it'll be available afterwards for anybody to watch. So no worries if you can't be there and check it out live, the conversation live. It will be up. I'm pretty sure, because they did that with the last one. No, I think I read in Karla's post that it'll be, yes, I did read. Yeah, in her tweet she did, in the subtweet she did confirm that it will be up. So yeah, if you can't make it, it's going to be fine. It'll be posted. You'll be able to catch it afterwards. Woo, was literally watching your old videos back to back with the live bubble popped up. Nice. You see? You see what life does? Sends us right what we need. Just what we need. When you least expect it, boom. Steven Zapata on your life. Steven, they shouldn't forget the product that is the copyright infringement is the AI, not the images that the AI makes. Oh, you know, trust me. The relevant parties here are not forgetting the nuances. They're very circumspect people. I know I keep saying I'm going to stop on this because the paper is completely dead, but I'm just having fun on it, so I can't quite bring myself to stop, even though I really should. Theodora Kapat with the SEK50. Thank you so much. Thank you for the YouTube video about the AI stuff. Really got me thinking on how to look at this. My pleasure, truly. And thank you for sharing it and for enjoying it. I mean, it's it means a lot. And I'm trying to contribute whatever I can to the awareness and to the reality of the situation. By the way, anybody in here, if you like I'm sure a lot of people are here because they like pencil work, because my pencil work is what gets a lot of people to know me. If you love beautiful pencil work, beautiful monochrome work, check out Theodora's work. She's fantastic. You will thank me. Go check out her work. She's great. Beautiful, beautiful pencils. Beautiful, beautiful pencils, and in the kind of surrealism that we all around here love. Very high quality stuff. I gotta lower the value on this whole back neck area over here. Thank you so much for the donut, Theodora. You're too kind, truly. Yeah, Green Sea put the @ Go check her out on Instagram. Got here a few minutes ago. Title mentioned markers. Yeah, sorry. I did them at the beginning, and then I got frustrated because I grabbed all ones that are dry, and I don't want to bail on stream to go sift through my drawers for clean ones, or for wet ones, sorry. So I switched to watercolor. Just easier to, at least with watercolors, you always know you can get what you need, you know? What brand are you using, and what is the brush you're using? These are the Derwent Ink Tense, which are technically inks, I guess, but you use them just like watercolors. They're exactly like watercolors. They just have slightly different handling properties. I like them because they seal in between passes. So if you let them dry a good amount, the next wash with water won't pick up what's underneath, which is not the case with watercolor. So it's almost like if you've ever played with like casein or, I wouldn't say they're like acrylics, but like, something like casein. It's like a blend between watercolor and casein, something like that. But they're really nice. And the brush literally just came with this pack. I have a few more of these, but it's just the Derwent water brush pen that came with this watercolor pack. But these are very common now. You can get them from, I think Niji is a popular brand that has these. They're all basically the same. I haven't used one that's like superior in quality over the others, but it's just a watercolor brush pen that has a reservoir for water in the back, so you don't need a separate cup. Good stuff. Good stuff. I like these. Liquid Wombat says, Steven, are you planning on adding more lessons to Gumroad? I've been working through them, absolutely love them. The shading one was a game changer. It's going to take a bit, but yes, in the long term, yes, because I want to finish transformational anatomy. So I do still plan on doing torso and head and hands for transformational anatomy. But I got a lot of stuff on my plate these days, so but I will get there. That's a series I've always known I want to get all the way through. So it's coming. It'll just be a bit. But I do plan on doing those. Torso and head and hands for transformational anatomy. And there might be something else if something comes up, but those are the ones that I've always had planned. All right, let's do another sketch because that paper over there is getting completely beaded up, so we can give it time to dry. These are drawings from Life Drawing the other day. I mean, you can't really see because I'm too zoomed in, but these are, I want to say 15s, from Life Drawing. Good session. Good session. They were 10 or 15s. I don't quite remember. Let's just do another drawing on the facing page. Just because it's probably not going to dry if I squelch the book down. I love Life Drawings, great stuff. Oh man, you gotta go to Life Drawing, man. I mean, it's so fun. Never got tired of it. Still love going. One of my favorite things. I find it so relaxing. I like to go to the ones that are just open. You know, you can do whatever. It's not like instructed. And I like the ones where you can bring your own beer. The one that I go to now is BYOB. So you just bring a couple of your beers you like, or any drink that you like. Sit there, draw. It's so relaxing. it's really the best. It's like my favorite way to relax. These days, it's also like it's especially calming because it's like one of the things that feels like it's just for me, you know? I have to do it out of the house. It's like I can't stream it. It can't become a crazy drawing or anything like that because there's time limits. It's one of those things that really feels like it's just for me, just for fun, and I love that. You know, since people were talking about Carlos Huante, he always does these like pumpkin monsters around Halloween. Maybe we should do one. Maybe instead of a pumpkin, I'll do like a gourd, a delicata squash or something. Nick Ravioli says, I often see you start with the Terminator. I guess to determine interesting shapes and then simply shade the halftone behind it. Yeah. If I'm going for speed, he's going for speed. He's going the distance. If I'm going for speed, the contour is kind of like obvious, right? But the contour, it's very difficult, especially in a life drawing situation, for the contour to give you form. But the Terminator on its own, especially if it's sort of like a combo Terminator core shadow thing, it will give you form very quickly. And then the good thing about doing it at something like life drawing is that if you have mapped the Terminator, so you've designed its shape and you've also found where it's soft and where it's hard, even once the model has changed, right? Or, you know, put their robe on in between sessions, you can just flat the shadow on your own, drawing from imagination. And then if the core shadow if the Terminator has given you a solid mental conception of the forms that it's rolling over, you can quite easily invent the dark accents and where the forms are turning away from the floor such that there will be less reflected light, so you'll find variety in the shadows. If you get hung up with that stuff, it's really hard to invent the Terminator and the core shadow unless you have a lot of experience. But if you throw that down quick, it will give you a really good, like almost nothing's a better raw piece of data to have to invent the rest. It's unusually useful. So I always make it a priority to throw it down in a life drawing session, because even with only that, just because I've been doing this for a long time, I can fake a lot of the rest pretty effectively. It gives me a lot of info. I discovered your channel through your AI video that I blasted through in one sitting. I just want to say how well that video was put together. Everything was explained so well. Thank you so much. I'm glad you liked it. Says, hey Steven, could you do me a favor and go live on 30th December, 12 a.m. IST? I turned 18 to your live stream last year. I want to turn 19 to it as well. 30th December, 12 a.m. IST. Uh, 12 a.m. IST, go live for, All right, we'll see. It's penciled in. If it works out, it works out. What friggin' month is it? It's October. Man, you're too sweet. Yeah, you'll see. Watch it works out, and I'm like, screw it, I'm gonna do it. And then has like a birthday party, and he's like, can't even be there. See, I keep making these things too big, these sketches. Really got to keep the size down. Goodbye, Green Sea. What are they? They're mostly yellow delicata squashes. Delicata. I don't have any room here left on this thing. I really need to clean this thing off. Gonna let that run. Lucas says, hey Steven, it says on your course that it's perfect for a beginner, but how about intermediate artists who likes drawing monsters and characters? Would it help to get better shape/design? Yes, sir. Oh, yes. I mean, you can see the, if you go to formfromimagination.com, you can see the curriculum. So it's like, you can weigh for yourself if you're in the mood to tackle that assignment list. Like, you can see how much we do geoforms, combined geoforms, rudiments of organic forms, things like that. Like, you can see the curriculum on the site. So if you're in the mood for that, that is the stuff that really unlocks the next level of shape and design, because you'll really start to understand what the heck it is you're actually throwing down every time you throw down a shape, you know? You'll understand the modeling factors. You'll understand how the modeling factors create the illusion of form, so you'll be able to control it. And then even when you throw down, I believe, that's sort of the whole point of the curriculum, that once you start unlocking that stuff, that is what makes it make sense when you throw a more random, beautiful shadow shape. You'll be able to read into it effectively and be like, ah, yes, that squaggle would be the core shadow or the dark halftone, and then that would imply this kind of modulation along the contour, things like that. And if you look at the curriculum and you're like, ooh, that's a lot of rudiments, then come back when you're in the mood for rudiments. Got to go to work. It's been so relaxing drawing with the stream. Take care, everyone. Goodbye, Samson Beaver. BD says, someone once told me that you consider Claire Wendling the greatest draftsman of all time. Is this true? If so, I totally agree, but I would like to hear your thoughts on why. Yeah, well, I don't think there's actually, I don't actually think it's that useful to be like, this person is the best alive or anything like that. It's like at a certain point, especially once you're up all the way at the top, it's apples to oranges, right? Everybody's doing different things. There's no real robust way to compare artists. It's like that would be boring. So it's in a manner of speaking, I believe she's basically right at the top. You know, if I had to put together a team to fight God at art, Claire Wendling would be my first choice. I'd be like, I'm not sure God can draw better than Claire Wendling. Whoa, what the? Let me switch the color mode on that. Oops. No. Whoa. What am I gonna do? Go back here, down there, boom, boom. That looks a little bit more like what's really going on there. Who would be the rest of the team? I'm not going to spoil the rest of my, art battle against God team. Then you guys, if we're ever put in that situation, then you guys are going to steal my draft picks. Hello, Burek. Senior Bob says, didn't I know you could watercolor Moleskine paper, or is this watercolor paper? Like Theodora says below, Moleskine does make actual watercolor paper, and that I don't have any of those on me, or else I should probably be using that. This is regular Moleskine sketchbook paper, which is not watercolor paper, and I'm suffering for it. I just don't care, because I'm just doing quick, fun sketches here. But this paper is not good for watercolor. It takes like a couple passes, and then it needs a full dry, and it starts beading, and it won't take any more. But it's fine for quick stuff. It's pretty resilient paper overall, but you generally need pretty strong stuff to survive watercolor. But yeah, if you want to do a lot of watercolor in a sketchbook, the Moleskines do come in a particular watercolor line. That is pretty nice. I'm coming up on my hard out here, even though I want to keep going. And as usual, I'm going to say to myself that I really need to get going and then continue drawing. Classic. Classic. Theodora says, it is very comforting to watch you do this. It is so relaxing after work to just don't say anything while also talking to a friend on the side. Yeah. It is relaxing, isn't it? I get very relaxed while I do this. Just talking to people in chat, doodling away, jumping from one drawing to another. It's a great way to spend time. You find it relaxing. I find it relaxing. Like, what's better? The beauties of art. What color did I use to get that gray? I already forgot. I guess it's really more of a mauve. Are you drawing a Yeti? Yeah, a squash Yeti. Hold on, hold on. Anyone who wants a private dating chat, girls, you'd better click it before I get rid of them. This is your last chance. All right, you missed it. You know? That was your one chance to get private dating chat, girls. There's nowhere else to find them. Hope you got it in right under the wire. Just notice your drawing is happy to see us. Well, yeah, that's why I said earlier, shh, don't tell anybody. Keep it very secret now. Why does paper curve? You mean like why does it buckle when it gets wet? I think it's just because it's expanding. The water is making it stretch out. That's why people stretch watercolor paper when it's its own sheet before painting on it. They'll soak it with water first so that it expands, and then they'll tape down the edges to a board so that it's stuck at its expanded size, and then that way it doesn't buckle when they paint on it with a lot of water. You can also do that to regular paper too. You could take like drawing paper, not even watercolor paper. You can water it down slightly and stretch it and tape it down to a board or staple it to a canvas box to make it more robust, and so that it lays perfectly flat at very large sizes. That's the main reason you would do it, so that if you're drawing on a really big sheet, it's actually flat instead of having random wavings in it. Uh-oh. I'm almost out of water in my brush. All right, that'll be the sign. Because I've blown past my heart out because I suck and I don't know what a heart out is. When I run completely out of water in the brush, that's when we'll call it for the day, since we've been streaming for 3 hours here. Theodora says 3 hours, damn son. Yeah, we tend to do long streams around here. We keep it chill. We take a lot of breaks to talk, but they tend to be on the longer side. I want to see you in a philosophical discussion with Marshall Vandruff. I'd pay for it. Well, I don't think you'd have to pay for it, but I'm sure I will wind up in a situation like that soon. I should get Marshall on. I gotta hit him up. I saw that they're gonna bring back a Draftsman podcast. They're gonna add a couple episodes to it, even though it's supposedly over. But I saw they posted an episode on the Draftsman podcast YouTube saying they were going to add a few. Wonder what that's about. I'm going to guess AIs. I'm going to guess that something really, the AI is the, it might not be, but if they're resurrecting it, I'm assuming it's going to be to discuss that, something along those lines. Do you think the water brush pen thingy is fun to work with over typical brushes for sketching? It's just so fast. You know, I like using it for fast, just designing and idea having and things like that. I got to come back. My brush is completely dry, so all this stuff went down way too brushy. If I want to keep going on that guy, I got to come back into him for that. How many hours passed since this started? We're at 3 hours, about 3 hours. But all right, everybody, I'm gonna get going. Why the hell don't you guys have a schedule? I want to see these. Well, I normally do Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then I didn't do one yesterday because I was on Nicolas Uribe's channel discussing AI yesterday. I came on today to make up for not being here yesterday. I will do another one tomorrow. We'll try to do another one tomorrow. And I think I'm actually going to try to do another one on Thursday as well to do the 3 for the week because I'm going to be away for the week. I'm going to be away Thursday afternoon onwards, so I won't be able to do Friday. I'm going to be out of town. So I think we'll probably do one tomorrow and Thursday as well. Unless, I just get tired and I'm like, screw it. But if you're missing a stream, you can go look on Nicolas Uribe's channel. If you look at my community posts, 2 posts back is a link to that. That can make up for the one from yesterday. But yeah, the normal schedule is Monday, Wednesday, Friday, usually in the mornings Eastern time. It's usually the first thing I do in the day. But it's art. So I don't put any unrealistic expectations on myself about doing it on schedule every day or anything like that. That's just the road to burnout town. And that's not what I tell my students is a good idea. And I practice what I preach. So I do it a lot. There's a lot of streams on here. I do it a ton. But the schedule is a little loose because just don't want to force it. But Monday, Wednesday, Friday works out fine. All right, everybody, take care. Thank you so much for drawing along today. Be peaceful. I hope whatever drawing, whatever creativity you're going for today or tomorrow or any other day, that it goes very well. Don't forget to just do it your way. Remember that drawing is supposed to be fun for you. Always prioritize your creativity. Don't just get caught up completely in skill land. Take time to relax with your art and to build a personal relationship with drawing. The joy is paramount in the practice. You must really be having fun when you're doing it, even if you're doing turkey drawings. It don't matter. You gotta like it when it's bad. You gotta like it when it's good. There is a way to nurture the fun with it. So prioritize that. And don't listen to anybody who's giving you crap about it. They don't understand. They're not creatives. Family, friends, whatever. It's like, they just don't understand. It's very important. If you have the creative impulse, it's very important to exercise. You'll become spiritually constipated if you don't do it. And that's not good. It'll kill your soul. So you got to draw. Truly. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, Saman Kucher. Goodbye, Karla Anglada. Goodbye, A Liquid Wombat. Goodbye, Shnoji. Goodbye, the noble Glenn R. Frank. Goodbye, Theodora Daniela Kapat. Goodbye, How's Your Father. Goodbye, Saman Kucher. I think I already said goodbye to. Goodbye, Blitz. Goodbye, Zero Tank. Goodbye, WZ. Goodbye, JB. Goodbye, Goro Majima. Goodbye, CAD. Goodbye, Zelafe. Goodbye, Motion Nakvi. Goodbye, Grandma Jojo. And to all the others, fare thee well. Enjoy your drawing. Bye-bye.